Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rachael Johns Book Store Tours. I'm so excited today to be travelling right across to the other side of the country to Tasmania, a place that I have been wanting to go for a long time, but haven't made it there yet. And yes, I'm fingers crossed I can get there soon. But instead, I'm going to go virtual visiting with Chris and Matt at Not Just Books in Burnie. Welcome, Chris and Matt.
Hi, Rachel. How are you?
Hi, I'm Rachel. Good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Is it nice and warm up there?
I was about to say, not warm, not that warm, but I think you're probably a lot colder in Tasmania.
Oh, yeah. No heat waves happening down here.
We're just having rain, more rain, and but the weather's not too bad actually. So yeah, can't really complain. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today to show us your shop. I'm excited to hear all about it. Do you want to start by giving us a quick intro of each of you and how you and your shop? Tell me anything you want.
Yeah, okay. So we took over about 2 years ago. I used to be in banking and was looking at a change, and the opportunity to purchase the shop was, too good. So the previous owners had it 26 years, and so it was, as I said, time for a change, and we just saw it was the right shop for us, right business for us.
I want to know, books or banking? What do you prefer?
that's an easy question, especially since COVID's been there. The banking guys have copped it pretty hard, so yeah. I'll stick with books, thanks.
That's good. And do you think you guys will be there for 26 years?
Yes, would be the correct answer, Matthew.
26, yeah, okay. I'll be nearly mid-70s, 80s, so maybe not.
But he'll be hobbling up and down with his walking stick.
And what about you, Chris? Tell us about yourself.
I used to work in pathology, so I'm actually a scientist before children. So we have 5 lovely children, and they're all avid readers like myself, so perfect for us.
You make them work?
The eldest 3 do. The other ones help, on their Saturday to get a bit of pocket money. So.
Yeah, we used to have a supermarket in the country, and my kids were very little when we worked there. We lived there. The oldest would have been 11 when we left, I think, but we still use them as slave labour sometimes. They loved it.
Well, they want the pocket money.
Exactly. When you get older, that's you can bribe them with money, can't you?
That's right.
Probably because the eldest kids know the retail award inside out, so.
Well, that's good.
I can't win that one.
Well, good for you. Oh, good for them. Yeah, at least you got smart kids who are, sticking up for themselves, obviously. So you said you've owned for a couple of years, and so I guess Not Just Books was a name that was already there that you took over. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. And I'm guessing we'll get to if the name tells us a bit about the shop, but I'm guessing possibly you don't just sell books. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That's
yes.
correct.
All right. Well, we'll get to what else we can find in Not Just Books Burnie. So was this both of you first time ever working in the book industry?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Other than reading. Yep.
Yeah, just been avid readers beforehand. Are there any things that, surprised you about or things you've learnt or loved or anything?
Look, it's been obviously a massive learning curve. It's probably just understanding the distribution networks and things like that is probably the biggest thing. We've been pretty lucky that Chris has a very good understanding of what, with the ordering and stuff like that. So it was more just getting the back office, the retail side and customer service is, I think from both our backgrounds has allowed that. So it's just, more that back office.
Oh, it sounds like going well. So you said your children are readers, which I'm always happy to hear. And also, only my youngest is reading anymore, and it's very depressing. I hope they come back to it, the older two. But I'm curious, were you both readers as a child?
I was, absolutely. Yeah. Loved it. I used
to, books?
If my kids watch this, any kind of books I could get my hands on. If my kids hear this, I'm in trouble, but I used to hide under the sheets with the torch reading. and they get into trouble for that now.
Oh, no. Well, that's just part of life, isn't it? We repeat.
That's right, exactly.
Have you got any favourite books that you remember from childhood that you still maybe sell in the shop?
I used to read Enid Blyton. She's making a bit of a comeback. The Hardy Boys, Trixie Belden, Nancy Drew. Anything and anything I could get my hands on, I would read. Non-fiction as well. Just love it.
Sometimes I think that, we've got so many more children's and YA books at the moment, but then when I hear people talking about the books they read, when they were children, and say myself, there was a reasonable amount out there, even, we'll wait
probably
a few decades ago.
Yeah, I mean, we've moved around quite a lot. So, just before we got here, looking at libraries and what they have, it's just amazing the differences between the libraries in different states.
That's very true.
Yeah.
This is a random question. Were you guys from Tasmania before, or did you move because of the shop?
No, we were from sunny Queensland.
Wow, big change.
And then we went to Victoria, South Australia, back to Victoria, and I went home one day and said to Chris, I can get a promotion. Would you like to move to Tassie? I'd never been. Chris had.
Yeah.
And that was 5 years ago. So.
Wow.
But, I don't like the cold and I don't like the extreme heat. So.
You're like my mum. She's from England. She hates the heat here, but she doesn't really like it when it gets really cold either. Not that it ever gets cold in WA. Anyway, what about you, Chris? Did you read as a child or a latecomer like me?
Oh, no. Sorry.
You got to ask him now.
Oh, sorry, Matt. Yeah. I'm looking on the screen. It's got Chris and Matt the opposite way around, but I should know you're not Matt.
You were on the phone. Are you there? Can you see us? Or
No,
sorry,
that's all good.
Sorry about that. I could lie and say yes, but I'll have to say no on this. I wasn't. I was probably more coming home from school, going outside, playing sport, that type of stuff. So
don't worry,
but
no judgment here. I think we've frozen again.
That has something over the years I've got into.
Cool, awesome.
So hear your voice but no picture. There we go.
You found me now?
So it is something that Yep. Sorry about that. That was my daughter ringing, and it's probably blocked my phone. So
no, that's okay.
Phone.
We just it's all
the silver sauce. My favorite. My favourite book, though, growing up was The Silver Sword, actually, by Ian Rowella, and I really enjoy it. And I actually bought a couple for the shop, even though no one probably reads it these days, but I thought I'd buy it anyway.
Well, often it's a case of hand selling, with books like that. That's what I'm hearing. So do you do author events? I know you took a couple of online events recently. Are you have you done many in store? I guess a lot of your time when you've been owning the shop, it's been during COVID, so that's changed things up a lot. But what kind of author events do you do?
Yeah, so over the first few months, we were pretty lucky. We were able to have Graham Base here, Rachael Treasures, who's a Tasmanian author.
She's great.
Then obviously there's been
Kyle Perry
with his
He's
first
a local
book,
one as well.
The Bluffs, and so we're about to have Kyle again for his second book next weekend.
Awesome.
We'll have an event there, but unfortunately with COVID, it has stopped a lot of the events.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
We've got to get all those authors to come up here.
I know.
We've got to get all the authors to come here because nobody loves us up here on the Northwest.
Oh, well, I've been saying I wanted to come to Tasmania for years. I was supposed to come last year and I would definitely have come up in the Northwest. Fingers crossed next year it happens now. So I'm happy to come visit you if you'll have me.
Oh, we'll have you.
Yeah, we'll absolutely.
Absolutely. But,
awesome.
We've been trying to line up events with people coming across from Melbourne, but we can't because of the COVID problem.
It's just too hard, isn't it?
I just hope it goes away.
So do we all, I think.
That's right.
Let's get on to the Not Just Books part. What do you sell besides books?
Hand sanitizer.
Okay. Hand sanitizer, probably like everyone else, but no.
Art supplies.
Oh,
so we've got a reasonably big art supply section, games, puzzles, some woodwork.
Wow, cool.
So we'll take you for a tour shortly, and
Yeah,
we can
awesome.
show you.
So lots of like general entertainment type things, hobby stuff, keep things to keep people busy.
Yeah, and sort of ties in quite well with the book.
Yeah.
So we do stock T2, the T2 range, and Byron Bay tea as well. So.
Oh no, that's great. Okay, do you want to show us around the shop?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we will show you around. We'll walk. So our shop.
I see some books in the background on your back shelf, which I'm very impressed to see there.
Do you know any? Do you know this author?
They look vaguely familiar.
This one's really good if anyone's watching.
Oh,
Excellent
thank
book.
you.
Yeah. So this is some of the woodwork that was done for us.
It's gorgeous.
Now, I will show you around part of the shop. Our shop is the largest in size in Tassie. It's about 500 square
like
metres.
a big shop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 500 square metres.
Wow.
So, I'll just sort of have a bit of a... So we've got our Tassie, Australiana section here. Now, as I was saying, excuse, it's a bit of a mess at the moment. We're about to do a few changes in the shop in regards to some painting and things like that. So we've taken down a lot of our signage.
Yep.
Can you see? Oh, yep. So we've got the woodwork there.
Oh, wow. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So that's they're local artists, I guess?
No, a lot of it's done actually down from Queensland. So Chris's father is based in Queensland, and he's part of a woodwork group. So a lot of it's to do with that.
Oh,
so that's
great.
just to give you, I don't know if you can see, but it sort of gives you an idea of the size of the shop.
Massive.
So socks. We do a fair bit of, we sell a fair few socks as well.
Yeah, they seem to be becoming a big thing in bookshops, and I suppose reading, keeping your feet warm.
Yeah, so the previous owners, actually, a lot of this stuff, the previous owners had, and we've just sort of expanded the range a bit. So, we're coming over here. We've got the cards and
reading cards, yeah.
Yeah, our T2 section and our Byron Bay tea.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm not a tea drinker, but I love teapots and everything. And so I wish I was a tea drinker because they're all so gorgeous. Wow, there's some art supplies there. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got our canvases here, sketchbooks and things like that over this section.
Are either of you artists?
There is quite a few artists around. So.
Yep.
Sorry.
Are either of us?
Either of us artists? No, sorry.
It's all good.
I can do a stick figure.
That sounds as good as me. Oh, wow. I can imagine that's a lot of stock there. That looks like such a great, you're basically an art shop as well. It's awesome.
Yeah, and then obviously we move into the puzzles and games.
Which have been very popular in the last year or so with COVID, haven't they?
Absolutely, they have. So it has quietened down a bit, but in that space. And then just our games, we've just got a smallish game section because obviously we've got Toy World, Kmart, that type of stuff. So,
doesn't look that small to me. That looks amazing. I wish this is my local bookshop.
And so as I said, we've got some new signs to go in shortly and some plush toys as well.
Oh, wow.
So that's really about it. Besides the different sections that we've got, so we've got our kids section all around this area here. Yep. They're moving into younger, teens.
Yep.
Sci-fi, fantasy stuff.
It's all really well displayed. It's great to see so many facing forward books, which I guess you can do when you've got such a large area.
Yeah, but as you said earlier, you've got to have the stock though to
that's
fill
the
it
only
all
problem.
as well. And just our manga section has really started taking off since we've taken over.
Yeah, manga.
Sorry.
I was going to say manga is huge, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it is. And this is our fiction section on the right-hand side here. So,
well, I think that's an amazing shop. It looks fantastic. As I said, I definitely hope to be able to visit soon. And so I know this is a hard question for bookshop owners because most of you are readers and love fiction and non-fiction and a whole lot of books. Is there one book, and it can be in any genre, that each of you find yourself recommending frequently
So it was. Well, we'll let Chris go first, and sorry, I'll put you on the spot.
Put you on the spot.
For kids, like we've just got in a Chris Humphrey's book with Australian animals on, and I used to watch him on TV, and the book's great. It's got QR codes in, and the kids can, you know, zap their phone because they all know how to do that now, and have a look at a little YouTube quick. Yeah, that's right. And then for adults, like I've just finished Kyle Perry's new book, The Deep, so it's pretty good. So that's one that we, at the moment, we're kind of saying this is one that we've read and it's really great.
Good to promote local authors, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great.
Sorry, I stole The Deep from you, mate.
Yeah, sure. Krista stole mine. Mine was The Deep. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I try and read it, absolutely, but when I spend a lot of time doing the accounts and that type of stuff for the shop, so I don't get as much time to read. But with Kyle's book, I couldn't put it down. So it was that one. And
there was the Rachael Johns one I read before that. That was really good.
Thank you.
Heart. That was excellent.
Thank
I did recommend that the other day to someone.
I find, like, I mean, you guys have, you know, a business, kids, and, you know, all the other things happen. And yeah, finding time to read sometimes is quite tricky, isn't it? I feel, and you probably understand, there's so many more books I want to read than I can ever
get. You end up with a list like this and you go, my goodness, where do I start?
Yes, exactly. Oh, well, thank you for those ones. They're great. Now, before we go, I'd just love to know, is there anything else you'd like to add? And also, where can people find you on, you know, online if they want to follow you?
Facebook.
Yep. So
Facebook,
our Facebooks, which is Not Just Books Burnie. Obviously, Instagram. Our website at the moment is under construction. We're just changing it, so we're redoing it, which will be up and running in the next 4 or 5 weeks. But obviously, the shop here is the best place. And
come and visit us.
Tassie, we're in Wilson Street in Burnie. Oops, sorry.
Oh, I'm sure people can come. They'll be coming to have a look because it looks fantastic, and I'll, you know, tag you in all the things that I put online as well. So I just want to say thank you once again for taking time at the end of your day to chat with me and show my readers and I your wonderful bookshop.
Absolutely, no problem.
Yeah, no, thank you, and thank you for giving us the opportunity. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll see you when you come to Tassie.